The two biggest names in English football, Manchester United and Liverpool, the perfect curtain raiser for 1989. Well, a very happy new year to you all and welcome to Old Trafford. Easy to forget some of the things that happened in 1988, but plenty to look forward to in 1989, and it all starts here. Graham Taylor is with us today. A great platform this, Graham, isn't it, for all we hope that will be achieved in 1989.
Tremendous atmosphere, all looking forward to it. And I hope in 1989 perhaps all of us can make a pact to start to love the game a little bit, because I think it's in need of that.
Thanks, Graham. Well, of course, Arsenal go into the new year as league leaders and championship favourites. They beat Graham's Aston Villa yesterday by 3-0. 40 goals for Arsenal so far this season. They took over a goal difference at the top. And David Rocastle's goal there, the pick of the three. 22 First Division goals yesterday. You'll be able to see them all at half-time. Well, Graham's going to pop up and join Brian Moore in the commentary position. So let's join him. Brian.
Thanks a lot, Elton, and a very happy new year to you all. Let's first then meet the two teams. Manchester United with Jim Leighton in goal. Then two young defenders, 20-year-old Lee Martin at right back and 17-year-old Lee Sharp, formerly with Torquay, at number 3 left back. Number 4 is Steve Bruce, 28 years old yesterday. And number 5, yet another United youngster, 20-year-old Russell Beardsmore. He'll play in midfield. Number 6 is Mal Donaghy. And number 7, United skipper Brian Robson. Number 8, Gordon Strachan. Number 9, we have Brian McClare. Number 10 for United, their goal ace, Mark Hughes. And number 11, Ralph Milne, United's surprise buy from Bristol City. But the man truly among the goals for United this season, indeed, it's Mark Hughes. The important team news for Liverpool is that Ian Rush is out. He injured a groin in training during the week. Nothing more strenuous for him today than an autograph session. So the Liverpool team, Mike Hooper is in goal for them. Number 2, Gary Ablett. 3, young Steve Staunton. Number 4, the ever-dependable Steve Nicol. And at number 5, the Liverpool skipper Ronnie Whelan. Number 6 is David Burrows, their recent signing from West Bromwich Albion. 7, Peter Beardsley, once a youngster at Old Trafford, but allowed to go on a free transfer. Number 8, John Aldridge, who replaces Rush, but he's their top scorer with 10. Number 9 is Ray Houghton. 10, John Barnes. And number 11, Steve McMahon. The substitutes today for Manchester United, we have Paul McGrath, his first appearance after being out for 3 months with injury, and Mark Robbins. And for Liverpool, Nigel Spackman and Jan Molby. Our referee today, Ray Lewis, of Great Bookham in Surrey, plenty to smile about. He joins the international FIFA list on this very day. So a very happy new year for him. Well, a tremendous game in prospect, a real barnstormer, this one. And really there's a passion about United-Liverpool games that sometimes even exceeds the heat generated by Merseyside derbies, or so it seems at least to me. Manchester United then in the red shirts and white shorts, attacking the goal to our right. Strachan, Robson. Liverpool the champions, Manchester United, who finished second in the table last season. Strachan again. John Barnes. Liverpool in this all silver blue strip of theirs. Burrows. Finding Houghton on the far side. McMahon. With Rush out, how fortunate they are to have such a proven goal scorer as Aldridge to step straight in. Here's his little touch. And a swift challenge from Robson. It's not the happiest of hunting grounds for Liverpool, is this, over the years against Manchester United. In fact, as you can see in the 1980s, 18 matches played, United have won 7, and Liverpool have won only twice. And indeed, they've only won once here in the 1980s. That was back in 81-82 when a Craig Johnston goal saw them home. So in many ways, United have an Indian sign over their illustrious neighbours on Merseyside. Hughes. Strachan. Foul by McMahon.
It's going to be very interesting, Brian, to see the Manchester United youngsters, how they cope with this.
Well, Alec Ferguson was telling me how well they played in beating Nottingham Forest on Boxing Day. And particularly young Russell Beardsmore, who's nothing of him. He's only 20. He stands 5'6" and only 9 stone, but playing in midfield alongside Robson. But as you say, this is quite a test for them, Graham. Here's Beardsmore. Robson. Came off Beardsley. Jump was by Nicol. Support came from Ablitz. The throw goes to United. Whelan leading the charge out. Aldridge, in fact, was offside. That is a bit of New Year's Day optimism. A free kick that's United's, taken about 35 yards from the correct place by a man on the opposite side, Steve McMahon. Lee Martin, another of the youngsters, goes to Nicol and fouls Hughes, which gives Manchester United a very interesting proposition on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Their confidence came back with a good performance against Nottingham Forest. But what wonders it would do if they could pierce this Liverpool barrier right now. Strachan curling it, just too high. Talking how well United have played against Liverpool through the 80s, but through the 80s, United failed to win a championship. Indeed, the last time Manchester United won the First Division title was back in 66-67. Liverpool won it 6 times in this decade. But what an amazing statistic this is. 111 matches these great old clubs have played. Absolutely even, Stephen. They both won 39. Bruce. Sharp. Robson. Barnes. Yes, the challenge by Lee Martin was a fairly crude one there on the Liverpool number 10. Hope you were able to celebrate New Year's Eve in the appropriate way. Ladies and gentlemen, these men you're watching today were all in bed by 10 o'clock last night. Even Steve Bruce, who was celebrating his birthday, the birthday he shares with his manager, Alex Ferguson. And, when I asked Alex his age, he said, well, say in the 40s. Steve Bruce is 28. Martin's header. And Strachan. Here's Barnes. Free kick to Liverpool. Foul there by Robson on McMahon. Absolutely inspirational lately for Manchester United in that midfield as Robson. Barnes. And a goal kick for Manchester United to be taken by Jim Leighton. Fantastic record of Hughes. 9 in the last 13 games, but he's never scored a league goal against Liverpool. 11 in the last 14. It's more just easing it forward, but a bit too far for Hughes. Cut out by Nicol. Liverpool manager Kenny Dalglish. It was a blow, obviously, that there's no Ian Rush for him. That's out of play. And the throw, to the annoyance of the Old Trafford faithful, given to Liverpool. Burrows, past one challenge, slipping the ball towards Whelan. Just over the top. Extraordinary to think that Ronnie Whelan has not scored this season, and indeed, you seem to remember looking through Liverpool's history of one or two very important goals he scored, and he only scored one last season. He was just a little too high for this. Listening to bookmakers' odds, that Whelan was something like 25 to 1 to score the first goal today. If I were a betting man, that wouldn't have been a bad little bet. In the meantime, it's McClare. He'll stop my nickel. But a corner then for Manchester United. Steve Bruce coming forward. It'll be taken by Strachan. A lot of early sparring going on, no pattern yet, but here's little Russell Beardsmore. And the flick on was by Robson. Graham Taylor, what have you managed to deduce so far?
Well, Liverpool have started in the usual pattern and knocking the ball about well, and I think that they'll let the game just take, of course. It's interesting that McMahon has got a knock. That's interesting because I think young Beardsmore has really got a lot of work to do against McMahon and against Whelan in midfield.
Whelan. Barnes. Oh, delightful play. Beardsley now to Staunton. Whelan. Not good enough. Strachan playing it forward quickly for Hughes. There's a buzz every time he gets on the ball. And this time he's picked out Ralph Milne. But he couldn't get it across. Aldridge. Tackled sharply from behind there by Donaghy, and he's taken a little bit of a knock as well. Ferguson, Manchester United manager, who knows what a significant game this is. I mean, in many ways it could well be, and he agrees, the turning point of United's whole season. If they can capitalise on their victory against Forest and then produce a victory against Liverpool, then they're all set for the charge in the new year. And it is very well worth telling you now that if United win, they go up to 6th place in the table, only 1 point behind Liverpool. That's how wide open this First Division Championship has been this season. United's throw. It was a foul one, and he didn't really mean to throw it, but a foul one nonetheless. It'll be Liverpool's ball now. Beardsley. Touch wasn't good enough against Strachan. Strachan, who scored a vital goal in a brilliant 3-3 draw at Anfield last season. Let's hope they get the same sort of entertainment here this afternoon. Hooper with the kick. Beardsmore. Oh, that's McMahon's. Beardsmore gets a second go, but this time he only finds Staunton. He gets a third go. And then loses it to Whelan. Aldridge to Barnes. Houghton's made a break, but this is Lee Sharp, the number 3. Milne gets it back, and it'll reach Leighton. Robson and Donachie. There, the whistle had gone. Robson annoyed that the advantage wasn't played for Manchester United. Strachan with the kick, though. Robson's forward. Ralph Milne on the far side.
He's got round Houghton. He's thrown in a good cross, which Staunton had to get away, but only as far as little Strachan. Ablett.
Martin. Hughes looking for something on the turn. Getting support from Robson, but
Four Liverpool players. McMahon in trouble. And a great save by Hooper from Leclerc. Trouble of Liverpool's own making, and so uncharacteristic of them to be dithering on the edge of their own penalty area in the way that they were then.
Mark Hughes really worked extremely hard, didn't he, get the ball back. A great save by the Hull, stood his ground and got his hand to it very well.
Martin's header.
And a free kick again given to Manchester United. The foul, I can only presume, by Beardsley on Lee Martin. It'll give Gordon Strachan a chance to lift it towards Bruce, who's come forward. And Martin in there as well. There are plenty of red shirts in there. He's hit it very deep, too deep, in fact.
Interesting about Brian McClare as well, Graham, as you've probably seen him as well. Alex Ferguson has played him a fair bit in the midfield this season. He was a prolific goal scorer up in his Scottish days. And I don't know, I think a lot of United fans are delighted to see him playing a very forward role here today.
I think Alex has had to do that because of the injuries. I think that, you know, if he had the choice and all of his players, then we'd see Brian playing up front all of the time.
Donachie with the free kick.
Hughes had fouled Nicol.
It's going to be a battle between Nicol and Hughes. I think we've already seen the signs of that.
Richard Staunton. Held up though by Strachan, and this is Russell Beardsmore. He's shown too much of that to Ablett. Strachan really looks to be in the mood. Nicol in the way. Back to Hooper.
The Manchester team have certainly thrown the Liverpool boys out of their stride at the moment. They're disturbing their rhythm, getting in their tackles very sharply and very quickly.
McMahon. Stopped by Martin. Strachan getting it back to Martin. Ablett. No time to dwell on the ball in this situation. It's fierce and highly competitive, and the ball back with Mike Hooper. Still keeping Bruce Grobbelaar out of the Liverpool goal. Houghton. Beardsley. Ball for Ronnie Whelan. Burrows to Houghton. And Lee Sharp saves the corner. David Burrows with the throw. It's a Manchester United throw now. Donachie. Hughes battling again with Nicol. Reaches Ablett. And back to Hooper. Liverpool's free kick. Steve Staunton with it. Played towards John Barnes, flicked on by him. Milne beaten in the air by Whelan. Houghton on the far side, taking on Sharp. Burrows carefully playing the ball in for McMahon, trying to quicken it up again, and it wouldn't come back from Barnes. Nicol versus Hughes again, and Hughes has won this little one. Picked up Beardsmore, who's got Milne making good progress down that left flank. And the youngster picked him out well. Robson waited too long, blocked by his England teammate Peter Beardsley. United get it back again. This is Mal Donaghy.
I wonder if we'll see the usual pattern, Brian, with an aggressive start by the home side and Liverpool gradually taking the sting out of the game. I think Manchester need to get a goal early on because it's very hard to keep up the pace of the game that they're playing at the present time, particularly against a side like Liverpool.
Staunton. In many ways, this will be a new experience for the likes of Russell Beardsmore and Lee Martin and Lee Sharp, Graham Erdit. They'll need, as you say, the encouragement of an early-ish goal to settle them down. But at the moment, United need to defend as McMahon comes forward. Here's Lee Martin. Added that header skillfully to Steve Bruce. Beardsmore again. Trying to pick out Strachan, just a fraction too high for him and too far. Ablett. Bruce, carefully back to Lakeland. Minutes of the game gone. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. Nicol. On. And chased and hustled and harried by Robson, and now it's McClare. Strachan. Hughes waiting at the far post. Staunton chesting it down in spite of the protests from Manchester United. Quickly muted that he in fact played it with his arm. No doubt the referee was right. Ray Lewis, you caught a glimpse of the FIFA badge that he's allowed to wear from today. Burrows. Hughes. Well played down Beardsmore. Martin. Donaghy trying to switch it towards Milne. It's McClare who gets there first, but Milne was down by Burrows. And the referee played the advantage. And it comes through to Russell Beardsmore. Hughes wanted it played quickly. Beardsmore prepared to go on his own. Then it's
too late in the end when he eventually got it through to Hughes. Now, Beardsley versus Robson.
Good little bit of refereeing that, I think, because there was a tackle by young Burrows. It was rather firm, or rather overzealous, and he let it go on, and he just had a word with him.
He also had a word, I noticed, with Ralph Milne to explain why he didn't stop the play on behalf of United, because they were in possession. It was a good piece of refereeing all round. Free kick to Manchester United. See, halfway through the second half now, 0-0. Strachan. Halfway through the second half, still goalless here, but as you know, there are plenty of good things at half-time in terms of goal action, as we bring you the goals from elsewhere in the First Division yesterday. Arsenal's 3-0 win at Aston Villa. Fabulous second goal by Kevin Sheedy for Everton against Coventry. 4 by QPR and Wimbledon. 3 by Nottingham Forest. So there's plenty coming up at half-time. Martin. Done by Leclerc to Hughes. Beardsmore. Martin. Beardsmore again. Donaghy holding off Aldridge. Certainly young, this is Donaghy, but young Russell Beardsmore showing that he's in no way overawed by this particular stage, Graham.
No, he's done very well. I've been very impressed with him in this opening half hour. Having said that about the youngsters, you know, there is still a lot of experience in this Manchester United side. Jim Leighton, Bruce, Donaghy, Robson, Strachan, McClare, Hughes. So we can, you know, we can sometimes get carried away and talk about the young boys. Well, they are there, but I mean, I think I've mentioned 6 or 7 players there with a lot of experience between them.
Still 0-0. Hughes getting above Nicol. Finds McClare. Can he bring in Milne? Goal kick. Hasn't quite found the spark this game yet, Graham, has it?
No, I think it was always going to be very competitive with the tackles coming in very quickly. And Manchester United certainly did that. In the first 5 minutes, Liverpool looked as if they were getting into a rhythm, but they've been knocked out of that, of their stride by the Manchester tackling. But I suspect that it's going probably a little bit of Liverpool's way, simply by the fact that apart from the shot that Hooper had to save, their goal hasn't been under any threat.
Now, Beardsley. Aldridge is waiting. But Beardsley's delivery was not of his usual high standard. Ablett. Here's Beardsmore. Barnes trying to get the better of him, and a foul against John Barnes on young Beardsmore. A free kick to Manchester United. Bruce will take it. Aiming for Hughes. With a touch, sends Strachan away. The cross is a deep one. Can Milne get it back? It's not out yet. He's played it back towards Lee Sharp, and then Houghton's got there. And off he goes on that busy stride of his now. But Milne was after him. And United win it back. And here's McClare. Robson held back there by Whelan. And a yellow card for the Liverpool captain. The two captains clashed, and it was just a moment when Whelan held out his hand, pulled back Brian Robson, and Ray Lewis spotted that. and took the necessary firm action. Yellow card. So a free kick then to United. Lee Sharp, the 17-year-old, with it. Robson up with a header, and Hooper with the catch. Aldridge, Beardsley, comes to Milne. Away goes McClare, Nichols with him. McClare wins it. And this is David Burrows. Bruce. With a header. Spoken about the incentive facing United, who go to 6th place and a point only behind Liverpool if they win. But if Liverpool win, they go 3rd behind Arsenal and Norwich, 6 points away. Back to Hooper. To Barnes. Staunton. Kept it in.
Certainly territorially, Manchester United have had the better of the half, and all credit to them. I think it is something that you know, they could have, the young lads could have been a little bit overwhelmed. I think they've just got to be that little bit steady, because Liverpool are past masters of being apparently under the cosh, and then they come in and they get a movement together, and all of a sudden the game changes.
Play. You got a first-hand chance to put it all into practice, I think, on Tuesday, is it? Villa go to Anfield?
Yeah, we're up there on Tuesday.
A bit of news I can give you, I think, is that Ian Rush is still fairly pessimistic about whether he'll be fit for even Tuesday night. Among the crowd, the Glasgow Rangers manager, Graham Souness. Great former Liverpool player, of course. Sharp combining well with Milne. Beardsmore missed his touch there. Beardsley. Now Houghton. Support from Burrows. Coming up to the half hour, still 0-0. Beardsley. Aldridge waiting in the middle. Barnes is in there too. Came off Robson. Of the first half left. We await the opening goal. Aldridge. Cut out well by Donaghy. Picked up here by Strachan. Beardsmore. He's cut round McMahon. His confidence, in fact, allowed him to carry it just a little too long. And here's Liverpool with John Barnes striding out. Aldridge there through the middle, and Beardsley shunted off the ball there. Houghton way wide.
Might be Liverpool's first effort, that Brian, and we're talking about going on to 40 minutes, I would think, somewhere like that, which is a reflection really of how the game has been. There's been that shot, and it's like Gordon Strachan's just complaining there a little bit, isn't it?
Yes.
But not a lot of goal efforts at all.
Strachan's really struggling, you know. They haven't got a midfielder amongst the subs. They've got Paul McGrath and Mark Robbins, a young striker. Nicol wins it. Beardsmore. Milne jumping into this one, but Burrows wins it. Robson now for United. Spreading it here for Martin. United's ball. We've got a replay that we may be able to show you a little later on that shows that Strachan in fact turned his ankle and is obviously suffering, as anybody who's ever done it will know. Well, let's see if we can find this at the moment. They play the ball forward, and as you can see, not another player within yards of him, and down he went. Mark Robbins, we think, who's coming on in a moment for Gordon Strachan. In the meantime, John Barnes. And he lost it just long enough for Lee Martin to get in. And Mark Robbins, the young striker, scored close on 30 goals in reserves and A-teams and so on for Manchester United this season. A youngster getting a taste of his name, just 19. And Strachan's gone off. I presume, yes, indeed. Looks very much as though McClare will go back into that midfield position. Staunton in the meantime for Liverpool. Cleared by Bruce. Goal kick to Manchester United. Yes, McClare's gone and slotted himself into midfield. Beardsmore central midfield. Beardsmore has gone to the right side of midfield now for Manchester United. Here's Beardsley. Staunton. McMahon. Whelan trying to slip it through now for Aldridge. Held up by Donaghy. Barnes. Staunton. McMahon picking up the pace. Burrows. Again towards Aldridge. Donaghy standing firm though for Manchester United. Steve Nicol. Beardsley. Again. 10 minutes to go to the interval. 0-0. And although it looked very much like a turning of an ankle for Gordon Strachan, we understand from the dressing room that he's got a calf muscle. An injury that might just take a little time to get right. Hughes, good turn. And Robbins got right in his way then, and Liverpool take advantage. Two captains clashing again. Robson got the better of that one. Robbins. And now McClare. To Robbins. Harassed sufficiently there by Steve Staunton. But a good incisive move that by Manchester United, and for a moment it looked as though the youngster on as a substitute might be in a position of glory.
What a wonderful start for him, that one, wasn't it? I think if he could just have pushed it across the defender's recovering tackle there, then he could have got himself into a better position, but he allowed himself to be pushed out.
Here's McClare. Nichols going across to rescue Liverpool. Beardsley clattered from behind by Bruce. And referee Lewis quick word with the Manchester United defender, and some quick treatment too for Liverpool's number 7. If memory serves me, both Steve Bruce and Peter Beardsley clashing there both come from the Wallsend Boys Club up in the northeast, where so many great players seem to develop their skills. Geordie's through and through. Staunton with the free kick. Flicked on by Aldrich. Now Beardsley. They wouldn't let him get a shot in. Robson was at him the whole time, and Beardsley down again. It's with Burrows once more for Liverpool. Staunton. Beardsley is still down. Staunton's shot charged down, taken up by Nicol. Milne played off it for a moment and then played the ball forward, cut out by Ablett. United's throw, and Beardsley remains in a heap on the ground, and now will get some treatment. He has scarcely moved since he went down, put there by the United skipper Brian Robson. Watches on both wrists of the referee, you'll notice, and on the left, as we look at it, that's the FIFA badge that he's now entitled to wear as of today. So a player in the wars, Graham.
Yes, he's had a couple of knocks there, hasn't he? I thought the tackle by Brian Robson was a little bit fortunate to get away with it. I thought perhaps it was a free kick situation, and perhaps Ray Lewis just missed it.
Well, here we are, anyhow. This is Beardsley. Robson after him.
See him come in, I think, with his left foot across him. Look.
And Beardsley up and in business again. Six minutes of the first half remaining. McClear finding it forward towards young Robbins again. And, oh, great and typical piece of work by Hughes. He loves those acrobatic volley-type shots. And that time it fell straight to Hooper. It's almost his hallmark, that sort of shot now, but straight at the keeper. Beardsley trying to get Houghton in. Well, there's the confidence of a 17-year-old, Lee Sharp. He's not 18 until next May. Superb sight, this great Old Trafford Stadium. Flicked on by Aldridge, back by Donaghy. 5 minutes to the interval, 0-0. Goals, of course, were always going to be at a premium today. United have conceded only 6 at home in 12 games of all sorts that they played this season. 6 in 12, can you believe it? And Liverpool have conceded only 6 league goals away in 8 games. So it's always going to be a bit tough for forwards. Donaghy. Oh, Nicol, will it carry? It does before Robbins can get there, but this youngster looks quite lively. He's got a bit of pace about him too, Mark Robbins.
I think the Manchester boys can feel very satisfied with the performance so far, because they have disturbed, without doubt, they've disturbed the rhythm of the Liverpool team.
Robbins goes up. Nicol facing his own goal, a difficult clearance, but the flag was up for an offside. Header. Free kick to Liverpool. A foul by Ralph Milne. Aldridge just laying it on. Will Beardsley get there? Martin just ducking him with a header. Beardsmore helping him out, but it's a Liverpool throw. The last 3 minutes of the first half. Staunton throw. Barnes. Acrobatic play and well taken by Leighton as Aldridge came in. Barnes, Robson's everywhere, throwing out a challenge right across that midfield. Sharp. Nickel. McMahon. Almost gave it away, and then there was confusion between Ablett and McMahon. Barnes. Staunton now for Liverpool. Houghton's making the running. He's got Bruce to contend with. Donachie behind him. He finds Beardsley. Cross almost reached Aldridge with it. That was a moment of high danger there for Manchester United. And of all people, it was Brian McClair who got right back and got him out of a spot, and a really serious spot it was. With the corner. And a good safe catch by Jim Leighton. Started the season brilliantly for Manchester United, then had a really dodgy spell, but according to manager Alex Ferguson, is now back to his best form again. Inside the last minutes of the first half. Robson. Now here's as Ablett stumbles. Robbins couldn't control it quickly enough before Whelan got his challenge in. Barnes striding away. This could be dangerous. Beardsley's outside him. Barnes might wish to go on his own, and in the end it flicks off the defender behind for the corner. Suddenly that looked a really menacing break, Graham, because not only was John Barnes there, but Beardsley was beautifully placed just inside him.
Yeah, I thought at one stage he was going to release the ball a little bit earlier. When he didn't do that, I was then looking for him to really go all the way through himself, but I think when he got caught in two minds.
Houghton, here's Staunton. Liverpool looking to end the first half on a really high note. Whelan, Beardsley, Whelan again, came off Robbins. Maybe it'll be United as Milne takes it up. Didn't really give Hughes a chance with that one, but here's Robson, and a lovely ball by him now for McClair. Beardsmore streaking through the middle. Robbins is in there too, and so too was Ablett for Liverpool.
You know, Brian, I think that Brian Robson and Mark Hughes have got a private wager amongst themselves as to which one's going to get the most tackles in. And there, I think it was a combination of both of them that set that up. They're really setting the example to the rest of the team.
Now here's McClair with the corner. This is Bruce. And then the half-time whistle goes. Plenty of commitment, you would expect nothing else, but no goals yet for this big crowd here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0 at half-time.
Thanks, Brian. Moral victory for the two defences at the halfway stage. United, well, possibly just ahead on points. Well, after the break, 22 First Division goals from yesterday, including a brilliant collection of volleys. You've already seen one of them, of course, by Arsenal's David Rocastle at Villa Park. Rocky putting Rambo in the shade. We'll be back. Welcome back. Action now from 7 of the 9 First Division goals yesterday. 2 goalless draws, and most conspicuous by their absence, last week's First Division leaders, Norwich, could only manage a 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough at Carrow Road. It was Arsenal who took full advantage.
Just like old times at Villa Park, over 30,000 there, but they saw the home side get off to a dreadful start, just a couple of minutes gone, and the normally reliable keeper Nigel Spink won't be too happy with his punch there. Alan Smith first to the ball, his 16th goal of the season. And Nigel Spink at fault here again, I'm afraid, but David Rocastle, what skill from outside the penalty area. Well, Arsenal, 26 away goals, 10 more than anybody else. Their 7th away win, this, sealed by the substitute Perry Groves with just a couple of minutes to go. And don't forget, it's Arsenal Spurs, live at 5 tomorrow.
The trouble with Kevin Sheedy is that a broken fingernail will probably put him out of action. Up until recently, he stubbornly refused to play on the left side of midfield. But when he does, right-footed too. Everton had already beaten Coventry at Highfield Road this season, minus Sheedy, and only for a moment or two did their unbeaten league run look vulnerable. That's when Gary Bannister scored for the 2nd week running. Well, just about Gary Bannister. The trouble with Everton, and this is the cold, hard truth of the matter, they're nowhere near as good without Sheedy. The trouble with Sheedy, he might not be around to do it next week. A worthy contender in the New Year's honours list would have been Paul Bracewell. Only Bracewell refused to accept his career was over 2 years ago. His first goal for 3 years there, suggesting 1989 could see him back in pristine condition.
Not a great day for keepers in the Midlands. The great Peter Shilton at fault, 13 minutes to go. Teddy Sheringham's header. Peter Shilton couldn't make up his mind whether to catch it or scoop it up. It keeps Millwall in the top 3.
Wimbledon might have gone bottom a few weeks ago. Since then, they've won 4 out of 5. Now, there's obviously more to Vinnie Jones than meets the eye. Luton had gone 7 games without defeat, but they were never in this. Terry Gibson, 7th in 13 games. A real poacher's goal, that one. Well, 2 second-half headers earned Wimbledon their biggest win of the season. John Scales made it 3-0 a minute after half-time, doubling their total from the previous 5 games. And shortly before the end, John Fashion, who got his first goal for 6 weeks. Another expertly placed header, this. In fact, one for the coaching videos. Wimbledon 4, Luton 0.
Nottingham Forest were well beaten here at Old Trafford last week. They finished the game at Hillsborough before half-time. 2 in 2 minutes, midway through the first half. That's Tommy Gaynor with the first. Neil Webb was quite brilliant. He ran the game from midfield and also got forward on the end of that cross from Gary Parker. That's his 100th league goal. The danger signs are really out for Sheffield Wednesday. They haven't won at home for 3 months. They lacked a bit of spirit as well, by all accounts. Steve Hodge getting forward, and a fine finish from the England international.
Never a dull moment down at the Dell these days. 1 win in 7 for Queen's Park Rangers must have had their rookie manager Trevor Francis thinking of how to avoid probing questions connected with relegation. And Martin Allen's tremendous second-half goal there had Trev puffing more easily. Now, Matthew Letizier's equaliser for Saints coming up, his 11th of the season. Southampton's 19th home league goal. No other team in the First Division can better that. Now, the character QPR showed from here on in will have pleased the manager no end. Former Blackburn midfielder Simon Barker on as a substitute put the Rangers back in front. Barker has been out for most of the season following his £250,000 move. Now, that's the way it stayed until 2 minutes from the end, when Mark Falco took over to make a mockery of QPR's poor goals tally in recent weeks. Another terrific volley. In fact, up to yesterday, only Falco and Francis had scored for them over a 10-game stretch. So, Falco wrapping it up with a late 2-goal flurry for Trevor Francis' first win as a manager.
Spurs are keen to prove they're not a one-man team. Without Paul Gascoigne, the other Pauls, Allen, Stewart and Walsh, set them on their way. That's Walsh's first for 3 months. Now, Besant had a brilliant game, the Newcastle goal. No chance for him from this deflected free kick from Waddle. Spurs Championship challenge no longer a joke. It's all set up superbly for our live match at Highbury tomorrow.
Yes, a great prospect for the North London derby, as Jim said, live at 5. Well, 10-2, actually. Now, we're not going to let Graham Taylor off the hook that easily. No, Graham, you had a close-up look at Arsenal yesterday. Painful memories for you. Apologise for that. But are they good enough to win the Championship?
Yes, I can't see any reason why not. I think they've done so much work now away from home. I mean, they've played 11 games away from home and won 7 and drawn 2, that it seems to me that they're either going to win or lose the Championship now by their results at Highbury. They're certainly good enough to win the Championship this season. I said that at the beginning of the season. I think because we went down there for their first home game, I think they thought I was saying nice things about them. And we beat them, but I wasn't. I believe they're good enough to win the Championship this season.
Graham, thanks very much indeed. So it's Arsenal against Spurs on the match tomorrow. Kick-off 3 o'clock, but join us at 10-2. Well, there's 45 minutes still to go here at Old Trafford. Join us again.
Back to Old Trafford. No goals in the first half. The team's just going out for the second half. A fellow who could have provided the goals, Ian Rush, sadly not fit enough to play. What are your impressions of the first 45 minutes, Ian?
Well, I thought, United had the edge. It's a very hard-fought game. I think the team who slows the game down, I think gets onto the ball, will win the game. Liverpool haven't played well at all, but it's still 0-0, so we've got to be happy.
Typical Liverpool performance, though, taking the sting out of the home side and looking dangerous on the break, Ian.
Well, we haven't had many chances. Say United had the best chances, so second half we'll be looking to hold them maybe 10-15 and hope to get them the odd chance then, and hopefully we'll put one away.
How hard has it been for you to readjust to the British game? People are saying it's not the old Ian Rush these days.
Well, I haven't been properly fit and that, but I'm coming back now, and before I got injured in training this week, I felt very strong. So just got to go over this injury now, and I'm sure I'll be back.
OK, let's hope you get back very soon, Ian. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Let's rejoin our commentary team then. Graham Taylor, the Villa manager, alongside Brian Moore.
Thank you, Jim. He's ready to start the second half now. Manchester United will be kicking off. And I'll be attacking, of course, the goal to our left. Reiterating what Ian was saying about Liverpool's goal-scoring machine, real steady, not firing on all cylinders. Only once in the last 10 games have they managed more than a single goal. You get the feeling that a single goal might just be enough here today. Steve Staunton with the throw for Liverpool. Really quite crisp afternoon now here in Manchester. Ralph Milne. Here's Nicol. Beardsley. Martin gets it away for Manchester United, up to Mark Hughes. Foul goal by a combination of Whelan and McMahon gives Manchester United a free kick. Robson to Brian Leclerc. Chip this time reaches Mark Hughes. Also Beardsmore on the far side. Well, there's a bit of cheek for you. Slipping it to Leclerc. Great piece of keeping by Hooper. And a lovely ball in by young Russell Beardsmore. Great work by Leclerc. There's the cross by Beardsmore. Met superbly on the volley in Hughes style by Leclerc. And good work again by Hooper. It's a good save he made early on in the game, and another good one here. And United get the corner. Hobson tried to reach it but couldn't. And Liverpool now with a chance of getting it away. No, they struggled. Robson now knocking it down. Hughes setting himself up again for the volley. Right start to the second half by Manchester United. The Liverpool defences remain unpierced. Nicol, oh, given away. Unlike him, but Ablett was supporting him. Whelan, Barnes, Staunton. Great piece of goalkeeping by Mike Hooper.
Very, an instinctive save, but you've seen those shoot past keepers. I mean, you can see why the fella's keeping his place in the team. He's done very well, but brought off 2 very good saves today, and he's looking very confident.
Now Liverpool, Beardsley, one of those jinking runs of his, stopped by Donaghy. Now it's Liverpool's turn to turn the screw a little bit as they get a corner. United have pulled everybody back inside their own penalty area. Nichols made a brisk little run. Flick on by Barnes. Cleared by Bruce. Sharp. Fouled by Burrows. And a yellow card for the West Bromwich Albion, former West Bromwich Albion defender. It was a rash challenge. And the best of luck, David Burrows, live on the match. It was he who conceded a penalty in the Merseyside derby against Everton. And a yellow card here for the challenge on Lee Sharp. Now Sharp. Ablett. Barnes. 3 red shirts converging on Liverpool's number 10. Conceding the free kick, though.
The 3 were Bruce, Robson and McClare. It's a good job that the 3rd one wasn't Hughes, else I wouldn't have fancied Barnes' position at all.
Funny business, you know, Graham. It seems so often on the match live, the first half rolls along, and it's the second half that really springs to life, and it looks as though the pattern might be renewed here today. Certainly a very encouraging start to the second half, but still the score remains at 0-0. Ablett playing it back. It's 5 minutes of the second half gone. Spearsmore. Spearsmore playing it forward again. The flag has stayed down. It was Burrows, if anybody, playing McClare onside. To Ralph Milne, trying to play it up, line it up for Sharp. Nichols there for Liverpool. Aldridge coming back. And a foul by Donaghy, a free kick to Liverpool.
Been a lot of talk about Steve Nicol at the back and how well he's done, and quite right. But I think alongside him, the boy Ablett, has been very much underrated. I think he's done a very, very good job for Liverpool this season. They've had to slot him into the centre of the defence, and he's not let them down at all.
Beardsley finding Barnes. Can he get past Martin? There's your answer, but it's a corner for Liverpool. Yes, Nicol going forward, as Graham says, Ablett alongside him. And when you consider they're without Hansen and without Gillespie, they are terrible twin blows to have. Lose their services with long-term injuries. Ablett has really been a bonus. Donaghy ducking low to get that one away to McClare. Oh, a long solo run by McClare. Getting support by Hughes. And Milne away. Alone on the left. It might come again to Hughes. And you just have the feeling that United didn't really make the most of that opportunity. Milne was in a glorious position away to the left of Hughes. And wide of the goal. Robson. Ablett. taking the free kick. I think that's Staunton. Good left foot. Sharp finding Milne. Challenge again by Sharp. Staunton. Houghton. Back by Milne. Quick change of boot just down below us for Brian McClare. About something. Good jump by Nicol. McClare, boots untied. Finds Lee Martin. Little Beardsmore on the far side. He crosses well. Martin. Try and get it to Beardsmore again, and now Beardsley. And now McMahon. And now Barnes in full stride. No, he's shown too much of that, far too much to Bruce. Out of play.
In boy Beardsmore has got a very nice little jinky trick, hasn't he? He sucks the full-back in, wrong foots him very quickly, and then gets in behind him. It's very nice to watch, and people like to see that. A nice little bit of skill he's got there to enable him to beat the full-back and get good crosses in.
He's a good little crosser, actually, Graham. I saw him, I think it was against West Ham here, his first game. He crossed for Hughes to get an important second goal. Donachie got that one away on that day. And then in the Mercantile Credit final at your ground, he crossed for Clayton Blackmore to score with a very good header. And Blomey did the same thing at Highbury against Arsenal a couple of weeks back.
Houghton with a shot, well taken. Well, Jim Leighton with 3 clean sheets in the last 5 games and really coming back into form, took that one beautifully. Barnes now for Liverpool. Beardsley prompting him forward again. And, well, the free kick given Manchester United's way. Liverpool might feel there was a bit of obstruction there. But a shot well taken by Leighton. And a free kick now to Manchester United. Things are warming up now. But it remains 0-0. Bruce with the free kick. Good jump by Hughes. McMahon laying it forward. Aldridge got his head down and his legs moving after that one. McMahon taking it up again. Didn't look quite himself in the first half, but he's full of fire and good things in this second. Barnes. Beardsley with a little touch. Now Robson. McClare on the far side, Ablett with him. Oh, McClare's got past him. No, Ablett stuck out the long leg. Nicol helped it on, back to Hooper. As Hughes came sliding in.
Well, Manchester United have certainly maintained the tempo. They're just not letting Liverpool kill the game off, and it's all credit to them. And although I've noticed in this half that there's a slightly sharper response by Liverpool, particularly when it comes to counter-attacking. They're quicker into the counter-attack.
Barnes had moved inside. Bruce playing the long ball forward again. Ablett meeting it for Liverpool. Staunton. Beardsmore back there. They're putting everything into this game, United. They've got another one tomorrow away to Middlesbrough. They leave for the northeast immediately after this game. And for sure they'll be without Strachan. Who, if you just joined us, went off with a calf muscle injury in the first half. A throw to Liverpool. Comes to Beardsley. Now here's Bruce. Knocked away by Wheeler. Here's Mill. Got the ball through to McClare. It was controlled beautifully by him. Robbins not getting the better of Burrows. Liverpool's throw. Someone certainly lit the blue touch paper at half-time in this game. As Beardsley rattles away there now.
And there's no foul. Beardsley goes on. He's got Aldridge waiting in the middle and Barnes coming up fast. Aldridge can't get there to make the correct strike for Liverpool. And it'll be a corner.
I think John Aldridge there, is somewhat a little bit unfortunate. He went to the far post looking for the early delivery, and when the ball didn't come, when Beardsley kept coming, he was in two minds what to do, and he had to check back and come to attack the near post. I think from his point of view, probably an earlier release of the ball would have helped him.
Well, here's Houghton with Liverpool's corner. An in-swinger. And an infringement, giving a free kick to Manchester United. Well, a good big crowd here, 44,745. United's second largest here of the season, beaten only by the visit of Graham Taylor's side, Aston Villa. And certainly now with this second half, the crowd must feel it's a good way to start the new year. But 0-0. Barnes is up. Aldridge. Hughes, or rather Bruce, was right at his heels again. Steve Staunton with the throw for Liverpool. Whelan. Staunton. Beardsmore. McClare. Now Hughes. Whelan stopped him. Found Barnes. Whelan again. Beardsley's in there. Here he is. Bruce going across. Aldridge waiting in the middle. McMahon had come up quickly as well. Liverpool get the corner. Houghton again will take it. With an hour and a minute played. 0-0. Again it's curled in. And again United get it away. Serves in some good corners, Houghton, doesn't he, to that near post, Graham?
Yes, there's a good serve of the ball.
It's Burrows with the throw for Liverpool. And he'll get another opportunity. McMahon. Might come for Aldridge. Referee looked hard at that one and decided no penalty. Whelan is chasing after him. That was a bit touch and go, wasn't it?
Well, it looked from here, didn't it? But the referee's right on the spot. He could have only been about 4 or 5 yards from the incident, so he's got a clear view of it.
What do you think, Graham?
The defender is a tackle that he probably is quite happy he's got away with. Referee probably decided there was no real intent. Probably felt that he was going for the ball a little bit late, but there was no intent to foul.
As you say, he couldn't have been better placed. McMahon. Burrows. Tested his nerve there because Robbins and Hughes were both a little too close to comfort. Chested it down neatly and got it back safely. Beardsley. Wheeler. Houghton. This is Milne. All safely played in for Robson. Leclerc. Gets it back, and Hughes gets up.
Certainly McMahon and Whelan haven't dominated in the middle of the field for Liverpool, and that's credit to Robson and Beardsmore. And then when Leclerc has come in, it's been a good competition in there, but the two Liverpool lads haven't been able to dominate like they do in a number of other games.
Goal kick. Flicked on by Robson. Picked up by Hughes. 20-year-old Lee Martin. It's given to McMahon. A touch by Beardsley. Picked up again by Robson. Now Beardsmore. Tablets.
If Manchester United lose the ball, Brian, in the middle of the field, they're caught in danger because the break by Liverpool will be so swift they'll not know what's hit them. Very dangerous to lose the ball in the middle of the field.
Bruce. Hughes on the turn. Oh, against the post. Robbins, a brilliant save by Hooper. Well, Hughes didn't catch it properly, but it looked for all the world as though it was going to go in. And what a great save it was. And the strike by Robbins. Going to be a substitution. And it looks as though Lee Martin's coming off, but the corner's first going to be taken. Leclerc. And now suddenly Beardsley and Whelan has made a great dash from the back.
4 against 4.
4 against 4. Barnes. Now United have got more back. Robson amongst them. McMahon. Aldridge. Now a real up and under. And a foul on the keeper. And now there will be the substitution. Paul McGrath out for 3 months. As the cheers ring around Old Trafford, not so much for Mike Hooper, but for Paul McGrath coming on again now. After a troublesome knee injury, let's listen to the cheers for him. One of the very best of centre-backs in the whole of the Football League. Republic of Ireland international. Played yesterday for the Manchester United A side against Liverpool to test his fitness. And he's back in business. And they put Donachie away to right back. Touched by Robbins. Leclerc. Whelan not sure where the ball was.
Donaghy halfway through the second half now. We still await the first goal. Got a little shove on Robbins there by Ablitz. McMahon. Beardsley. There's McGrath. He's only been in serious training for about a week, but he's one of those natural athletes, Paul McGrath, that quickly gets back to match fitness. And if he can stay fit now, he'll give a terrific New Year's boost to Manchester United. Barnes. Seen off Robbins. Oh, a nice little touch by Aldridge, and sadly for Liverpool, Houghton stumbled at the critical moment. The commitment level's gone off the register at the moment, Graham.
Yes, I mean, the tackles have been coming in very quickly and sharply. I've said it many times as well, when that happens, it's sometimes hard to appreciate the skill that's going on, because there just isn't the time or space, but the skill factor is there. But you blink your eyelids and you can miss it because the game is played so quickly with the tackles coming in.
Now Burrows for Liverpool. Shot charged down by Robson, who seems to be everywhere in this Manchester United midfield and defence. And the manager stays on his feet again as Liverpool get possession with Ablitz. Flick on and a good one there, but Beardsley was offside. The referee has just spotted the linesman's flag. Robson. Talking about the high level of commitment. I know my colleagues have been trying to get that replay in the Mike Hooper save, and there just isn't time because there's no stopping in the action. But we'll try and get it for you a little later on if there's a reasonable stoppage. In the meantime, Beardsley. Aldridge has made a run one side, Barnes on the other, and Liverpool in the lead. A shot by Barnes, deflected on the way, but in the back of the United net. And Liverpool go into the lead. Silence on three sides of the famous Old Trafford ground, but not at that Liverpool end. Beardsley laying it off at Barnes in just enough space, drags it inside. Yes, and there was the flick off the defender, but the goal belongs to John Barnes. Just enough as Bruce came in. But John Barnes scores, Liverpool in the lead. With 20 minutes of the game remaining. Hughes. Played in for Donaghy. And now for Beardsmore. Gone all the way. Cross again, and Leclerc showing terrific volleying power, and at last Hooper is beaten, and what a game we've got. Donaghy. Then they lose it. Donaghy has lost it, and Beardsley's on his way again. It's with Aldridge. McMahon shot stunned by McGrath. And McClare's shot rocketing into the goal. Camera inside the goal, shivers as the net is cracked by that goal of McClare's. The flag goes up on the far side, and offside against Hughes. It was such a good volley, you could almost have thought for a moment it was Mark Hughes himself, Graham.
Oh, superb finishing. Great run by the boy Beardsmore. Attacked the defenders, went at them in the penalty box.
Staunton. McGrath. No, it's given to Barrows. And Milne won't want to make that mistake again as he drags the ball away for United. But here's McMahon now for Liverpool. Beardsley. McMahon looking to get his cross in, or his shot. And somehow United kept that out. Good reactions from Leighton. And nobody from Liverpool there to apply a finishing touch. Here's McClare. Staunton. Beardsley. Aldridge have gone away to the far post, and here's Barnes on this side now. Sharp kept him out. The long ball finds Hughes. A lovely little touch by him to Beardsmore. Hughes again. Not a lot of support. Beardsmore again. Now Donachie. Robson's up and joining him. And away go Liverpool. Peter Beardsley being chased by Sharp. And back to Ginley.
You know, Brian, it's amazing what's happened in the last 5 minutes, because all of a sudden both teams have gone from one end of the pitch to the other. They've lost their shape, and the whole thing has become very exciting, because just watching there, Manchester United were attacking there and they'd left themselves with 3 against 3 at the back if the ball breaks down. So really, the game has really taken off now.
Beardsmore. Robbins. Nicol, they claimed handball, not given. And it's in there again! Mark Hughes has made it 2-1. Again a deflection. But United have come from behind, and Mark Hughes has put them into the lead. Well, one sensation follows on another. As Hughes lines up the shot, it cannons off the arm of the keeper. What an astonishing game it's turning out to be. The goal kick.
Well, I mean, the viewers at home, ourselves here, you're just watching it, we can't, it's silly to turn around and say, I can't believe it, because it's there in front of us. And this is a great thing about the game. We were just talking a little bit earlier. This is a great way to start the new year, Brian, this.
3 goals in 5 minutes. United, as we've said before, with that incredible incentive that if they do beat Liverpool, goodness knows what it'll do for their confidence, but also it takes them to 6th in the First Division. McGrath. Robson, a cheeky little back heel. Milne floating it for Robbins. Ablett there. Robson again pouncing on that half mistake. He's found Mark Robbins, and now Mark Hughes. Sharp. Robbins tries to get in, and Beardsmore! 3-1! You can't believe it now. His first goal for Manchester United. youngster. Catches it on the volley, puts it wide of Hooper, and the score clicks up to 3-1. Four goals in 7 minutes. And who knows, we may get more as Milne takes it up now. This time Robbins is waiting in the middle, poised at the far post. There's his header, but Hooper gathers that one. Robson. And in the midst of all the excitement, Liverpool have made their substitution. Kenny Dalglish, shattered by what's been going on around him, I would have thought. Liverpool have lost their shape and a little bit of composure. Jan Molby is on, and Staunton is gone. Here's Molby. Nicol. Molby. Bruce.
It's not often you see a Liverpool side shell-shocked, Brian, isn't it? But that's exactly what the Liverpool lads look now, and who could blame them? Who would have thought when John Barnes put that goal in that we'd be looking now at Manchester United leading 3-1? I think most people would have said, well, that's it, Liverpool will now kill it off, and it's 1-0.
And within 7 minutes of it, Graham, as well.
Ablitz. Molby away. McGrath. McMahon. Nicol. Aldridge waiting at the far post, but it's a goal kick to Manchester United. Ferguson must begin to feel that the better times are around the corner for Manchester United. That's Beardsmore shaking the rigging and the camera again, making it 3-1. And for sheer excitement, and again all the good things in British football, it's been a classic second half. Robson gets it back. Amazing. 4 goals, as you can see, in just 7 minutes of play after he'd gone 70 without the sniff of a goal. Nicol. Liverpool in danger of getting caught out again as Robbins looks for his moment of glory on the turn. But it's a goal kick. The manager has been under pressure as the results just wouldn't come in the early part of this season. But Alec Ferguson has insisted all along that he'll get it right and that United could still be big championship prospects. Sharp doesn't get it back fully. McGrath had to help him out. Away go Manchester United again with Lee Sharp. Inside for Hughes. Molby loses it. Hughes again. Are they looking for another one? Ablett gets it back. It's become the sort of afternoon you just don't want to end.
Beardsmore. I've got to ask you in a minute or two, Graham, to name a man of the match, which is not going to be that easy for you. Perhaps you'd like to apply yourself to that for the next minute or two, and I'm sure a lot of people at home will be doing the same. And there are certainly one or two that you can choose from. There's quite a field out there. Nicol. Manchester United throw. 7 minutes are left. Havertz. Barnes. Robson enjoyed that. Burrows. Another Robson tackle. Another Liverpool throw. Robbins, McClair chasing this one. Jan Molby there. And Howden. Barnes. Whelan. And come to Aldridge. You're still deep in thought, Graham.
Well, whoever wins it, I hope they share it around, because I'm going to select a Manchester United player, and it could have been any of them, really. I think that Robson and McClair done extremely well. They've been first class, but for my money, I'm going to give it to Mark Hughes, because I think that from the word go, he has worked the Liverpool centre-backs in such a fashion. I've not seen Steve Nicol so disturbed as he has been during the course of today's game, until he's just recently moved to right back. And I think that to have that up front for you, you've always got a chance. He's made his presence felt, he's worked, he's capped it with a goal. So for me, yeah, I'll give it to Mark Hughes, and
I'll be there.
And suggest that he probably shares it with all of his teammates, because it really has been a first-class Manchester United performance right through the 90 minutes.
Well, there we've just seen a man of a glorious match. A free kick to Liverpool. We're left with 4 minutes of the game. It's with John Barnes, Peter Beardsley, Milne hooking it away for Manchester United. And already the scoreboard is announcing that Graham Taylor has made Mark Hughes the man of the match. It's with Barnes, little chip by him, Robson's in there, and Leighton too. There's the evidence, and the crowd have just been told about it as well on the loudspeaker. It seemed to meet with a certain approval, Graham, amongst the Manchester United fans.
Yeah, I've got to go to Liverpool on Tuesday. But I think the fair-minded Liverpool supporters will see that.
It's with McMahon, and now with Barnes. As Liverpool look to repair a little bit of the damage that was created between the 70th and the 77th minutes. In goes Bruce. Robson's touch. McClair will take it up. Hughes is on ahead of him, with Robbins waiting in the middle.
Players come up quickly. It will be too high for Robbins. Barnes. Beardsley on the far side now for Liverpool. Played in for Barnes, catching it on the volley. Barnes again for Liverpool. That time it was McGrath getting it away. Beardsmore. And he's taken a bit of clatter there from Burrows. But he must have figured in your mind when you came to thinking about man of the match, Graham.
Yes, as I say, I mean, there's a number of them. I hadn't mentioned him, but there certainly was. He's done extremely well, both in the inner midfield position and since he went out. But I say Robson, McClare, Hughes, Bruce has held it steady at the back. Yes, I could have picked a number of the Manchester United players.
In the meantime, it's Nicol for Liverpool. Burrows. McGrath meeting it with his head. More than that, finding McClare with it. Burrows again for Liverpool. In the last minute of the game, Whelan. Beardsley. Barnes. Burrows once more. Trying to tease an error out of Bruce. Gets to the byline. And Milne gets it back to Jim. Robbins, little flick in, getting it back from Hughes. Playing time added on. There shouldn't be a lot of that. And what value for everybody here at Old Trafford today, and I really hope for you at home as well. If you love football, this has been a glorious start to the new year. Liverpool fans might feel otherwise, particularly after John Barnes had put them into the lead. And then McClare, Hughes and Beardsmore turn the tables gloriously and in the most spectacular fashion for Manchester United. Their second victory in a week, and this really the biggest scalp of all. I suppose Alex Ferguson and his men must feel that the better times are on the way, and now they'll look to sound the charge for an important new year. They've moved up to 6th place, remember. Now just 1 point behind Liverpool. The race truly is on. Jim Rosenthal is with Alex Ferguson.
Absolutely on their feet. We can hardly hear down here. Surely your finest hour as United's manager.
Well, it's been a great day, yeah. That's what we wanted to see, United support like that. They were marvellous, and, well, we made it that way.
4 goals in 7 minutes we had here. What a way to start the new year.
Brilliant. The players were marvellous. Every department, they won all the battles. Half-time they said that they'd won the battle, but they had to win the war. And Liverpool are a really good team, and you have to concentrate. And there was concentration at the goal, so they did well to come back. Excellent.
You sensed all along that the mood was right for your team to take the side that you admire above all others.
Well, they're the barometer of the game. That they've won the championship so many times that we have to take that as a measure. And, well, today we showed a bit of Manchester United what we want to be.
And
you want the consistency now.
OK, Alex, thanks for joining us so quickly. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with more interviews.
Well, an
extraordinary match here at Old Trafford, dominated by defences early on, and then it really exploded into life. And I don't know about you, I can't recall a match of such importance before, when Liverpool scored a goal with 20 minutes to go and then surrendered 3. Well, it puts Manchester United into the top 6 in the First Division, and just look at that. Of the 5, the big 5 that everyone was talking about before the season, they're all there now. Arsenal, Everton, Liverpool, Manchester United and Spurs. Certainly something for the likes of Norwich, Millwall, Coventry, Derby and Southampton to think about. Right, as Graham Taylor said, the man of the match, Mark Hughes, a bottle of champagne and £250 to the charity of Manchester United's choice. He's with Jim, along with Brian McLeod.
Yes, thanks, Elton. Both the boys are down here, and they've been dragged from an elated dressing room, I have to say. First of all, Brian, a word from you what it means, really, to beat Liverpool.
Well, obviously, there's always a great rivalry between United and Liverpool. They beat us at Anfield at the beginning of the season with probably a disputed penalty. You can see out there the noise that the supporters are making, how important it is to them.
Did you fear the worst when you went a goal down?
Yeah, I must admit we did. I felt that the first half we had the best of the play with a few decent chances. Didn't think they'd created much.
Right.
The second half, credit to Liverpool, they came out and played a lot better. Created a few chances. John Barnes did very well with his goal, kept his cool. Chipped the ball in very well. And I think that it did put us down a bit, but it couldn't have been, the commitment couldn't have been any better after this.
I think your goal, Brian, will be shown time and time again. A Buddy Holly, a volley, really, to go down in the annals.
Yeah, well, I've given up scoring a few goals this season also. When I do score, I try to make them a bit special, you know. But all credit to Russell Beersma, who played in Gordon's position after Gordon went off. Not only did he score a goal, but I think he had a hand in yours as well, Mark, did he?
Right. Now, Mark Hughes, what about your goal? You're getting spectacular ones, it seems, this season, but this one must have meant more than most.
Yeah, it was an important time for us. We did well to get back in the game straight away, and I think that was important for us. And we got straight back into it, and we were able to keep the momentum going. For my goal, I think the ball was played across, and I think I appealed for handball to begin with, but then it just broke to me, and I was able just to run it in and then whack it across the goal. And it's one of those that could have been a cross or a shot. It's just I was lucky enough for it to go in.
Can you win the title?
Well, we've been it's a bit of a leading question. No, we've been wrote off at the all season, but like I said, I think that result puts us in the top 6 now. So okay, who knows?
Good. Brian, Mark, thanks very much. Here's the Barclays bubbly, Graham Taylor's choice. Mark, you won't be drinking tonight.
I think I'll save it till after the match tomorrow.
Yes, Manchester United away to Middlesbrough. Now, what of Liverpool briefly? Now, they always say that they're most dangerous when they've suffered a defeat such as this today. Can I just call up Graham Taylor and say, you've got to go there on Tuesday, Graham?
Yes. Yeah, so we've got a challenge. But we would have had that irrespective. But Manchester United today have played extremely well. But other than that, a great game and good for the game. Tremendously exciting, and you can't ask for anything more.
And what do you think of Liverpool now? Do you think they're still going to be there and up there at the end of the season?
Do you think I'm silly enough to suggest anything else? No, I mean, I've not seen a Liverpool side so shell-shocked as they were today, but I mean, who can blame them for that? 20 minutes to go, John Barnes has scored the goal, and we're all sat back saying, well, look, that's probably it. But within another 6 minutes, I mean, Manchester United have come there and done extremely well.
All right, Graham, I'm going to have to finish you there, but best of luck on Tuesday. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow. The message from up north is that for Arsenal and Spurs at 5 o'clock tomorrow, it's follow that. Bye-bye.